We, the people of India.
With great joy and immense exultation, I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for the enactment of the Youth Parliament 2020-21 by the bright students of Pudar International School, Satara. Let us start this event too by offering our prayers to Ma Saraswati and conduct our customary lamp lighting ceremony as a tribute to the embodiment of knowledge. For this, I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Srimant Chhatrapati Shivendra Raje, respected Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, HM Jumbo Kids, Admin Managers, and yes, the guest of honors, dear doctors today, to kindly come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony. Sir, please.
Expression, belief, faith and worship, quality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949
भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है, स्वतंत्रता को बल देता है, समता न्याय का फल देता है, जिसकी बदौलत भारत देश को मिला यहाँ सम्मान है। भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है।
Educated people have to think about coming into politics. It's not a career. After all, every 5 years you have to answer the people, and your fate is decided by the people through voting. So it's not like it's a career, but if you want to do something good, I think for your city, for your like taluka, or your town, I think it's a good way. Good people come in this field and change the things that you want to change. Only putting your ideas on social media is not going to change anything, because that is limited for your ideas over there. If you can implement those ideas with your own things, those ideas that you have, whatever ideas are there on social media, I think that can make a huge difference. So all kids over here would show all the best in your future, and I hope Satara is in good hands, was in good hands, is and will be in good hands with all of you. So all the best to the children over here. I thank the Principal Sir once again for giving me this opportunity to come here and say a few words to you. Thank you very much.
शिक्षा मिले यहाँ सब बच्चों।
Raje Bhosle, who stands elected from Satara constituency of Maharashtra state, will now take an oath or affirmation. Do you want to take an oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In Marathi, please.
I,
मी ईश्वरी राजे भोसले लोकसभेची सदस्य म्हणून निवडून आले असल्याने परमेश्वरास स्मरून शपथ घेते की मी विधीद्वारा स्थापित भारतीय संविधानाप्रती अनन्य श्रद्धा व निष्ठा बाळगेन. भारतीय सार्वभौमत्वाचे आणि भारतीय एकतेचे निर्धाराने रक्षण करेन आणि जे कर्तव्य आता मला प्राप्त होत आहे ते मी नेकीने पार पाडेन. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
Rakshit Patil, who stands elected from Tiruthanni constituency of Tamil Nadu state, will take an oath or affirmation. Do you want to take an oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
Tamil, please.
I,
மக்களவை உறுப்பினராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட ரக்ஷித் பாட்டில் எனும் நான் சட்டப்பூர்வமாக நிறுவப்பட்டுள்ள இந்திய அரசமைப்பில் உண்மையான நம்பிக்கையும் பற்றுதலும் கொண்டிருப்பேன் என்றும் இந்தியா நாட்டின் இறைமாமையும் ஒருமைப்பாட்டும் கொண்டிருப்பேன் என்றும்
ನಾನು ಅಂಬಿಕ್ಯವಾಗಲಾರೆ ಅದ ನಾನು ಲೋಕಸಭೆ ಸದಸ್ಯನಾಗಿ ಚುನಾಯಿತನಾಗಿ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿತನಾದ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಭಾರತದ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಅಖಂಡತೆಯನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಈಗ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಿರುವ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ದೇವರ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಜಯ ಕರ್ನಾಡು, ಜಯ ಭಾರತ.
अहं मनोरमा कुलकर्णी लोकसभया सदस्यः तेवन निर्वाचितः निश्चेतयेन परमेश्वरस्य नामनाशये यद अहं विधिना स्थापितं भारतस्य संविधानं प्रति सत्या श्रद्धा निष्ठा च धारयश्चेत् यद अहं भारतस्य सम्पूर्ण प्रभुत्व सम्पन्नताम् अखण्डतां च रक्षयामि तथा यद पदं गृह्णतो न उद्यतो अस्मि तत् कर्तव्यानि श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वक्ष्यामि.
With great regret and sorrow that I inform this House about the sad demise of former President of Indian Union, Honorable Pranab Mukherjee, on 31st August 2020 at the age of 84 due to post-COVID complications. In his long career as a minister, he handled everything from finance to commerce, defense, and was also the Deputy Chairman of Planning Commission. He became 13th President of India in 2012. He was not just an astute politician but also earned respect for his encyclopedic knowledge of history and constitution. He will always be remembered as one of the most distinguished all-rounders to have been part of the Indian government. Prime Minister, please.
Respected Speaker, I and my party members associate with the loss and feel the void that the nation feels at the sad demise of Honorable Pranab Mukherjee. A true statesman, he has worked enormously for the nation's development. In all his years of his political career, he has been instrumental in certain key developments regarding the right to information, right to employment, metro rail, and much more. Apart from his political astuity, he will always be remembered for his powerful oratory skills and intellectual prowess. I extend my heartfelt condolence to the family.
Honorable Leader of Opposition.
माननीय महोदया, मैं आपकी एवं सदन के नेता द्वारा अर्पित की गई श्रद्धांजलि से स्वयं को सहयोजित करता हूँ। आदरणीय प्रणब मुखर्जी का चले जाना देश के लिए एक अपरिमित क्षति है। वे एक कुशल राजनीतिज्ञ और महान अर्थशास्त्री थे, जिन्होंने पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी के साथ मिलकर वैश्विक मंदी का असर भारत में नहीं होने दिया। 21वीं सदी में वैश्विक नेतृत्व के लिए भारत को तैयार करने में उनका महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहा है। शोक के इस घड़ी में मैं उनके परिवार के प्रति अपनी गहरी संवेदना व्यक्त करता हूं।
The House may please stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. You may sit down. Secretary General may please convey the message of condolence to the bereaved family.
Yes, madam.
Prime Minister to introduce new ministers.
Honorable Speaker Max, I have pleasure in introducing to you and through you to the House my colleagues, the new ministers. Honorable Minister of Shipping, Shrimati Ishwari Raje Bhosle. Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industries, Shriman Rakshit Patil. Honorable Minister of Labour, Shriman Ambikya Vakharade. Honorable Minister of Tourism, Shrimati Manorama Kulkarni.
And now we begin with the question hour. Question 101, Shrimati Pragati.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. Will the Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare be pleased to state whether there had been any adverse impact of COVID-19 lockdown on physical and mental health of children? If so, the details thereof and the steps being taken to promote awareness about mental health issues among parents and children, and also address the anxiety issues caused to children by the fear of COVID-19 virus.
Health Minister Shriman Yosef.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. The government has taken a number of initiatives to provide psychological support during COVID-19. This includes, first, 24/7 helpline number 2043 has been set up to provide psychological support by mental health professionals. Second, a detailed guidance for mental health in pandemic and guidance for mental health care settings has been issued by National Institute of Neuroscience. Third, advocacy through various media platforms including social media in form of creative, audio and visual materials on managing stress and anxiety. Fourth, government is supporting district mental health programs in 300 districts with main objective to: first, provide life skill training and counseling in schools and colleges. Second, to provide suicide prevention services and workplace stress management. Thank you.
Question 102, Shrimati Uttara.
Thank you, Speaker, Madam. The government's handling of the COVID-19 crisis has been a series of stumbles, blunders, and mistakes. It has been the story of the world's strictest lockdown and smallest actual fiscal stimulus, leading to the biggest and worst drop in GDP. Honorable Speaker, Madam, will the Honorable Minister of Health be pleased to state whether they have prepared any roadmaps to provide the vaccine, and what's the distribution mechanism to provide the vaccine?
વેક્સિન શું કરો છો બેન? અમારા બધા પ્લાન તો સેટ છે. Silence please. Yes, Health Secretary.
Thank you, Madam. In 21st century, we are a visionary government, well planned and
still awaiting the final approval from the government that the people above 50 years of age and those with comorbidities such as hypertension and diabetes numbering around 20 crore.
फाइल से बाहर निकलो, वैक्सीन कब मिलेगा? आधी जनता ऊपर जाने की बात।
Silence please. Maintain the decorum of the house. Question 103, Srimati Vibha.
Honorable Speaker Madam, will the Minister of Education be pleased to state the time by when the National Education Policy is likely to be implemented? Whether a state-wise plan of action will be drafted for implementation of this policy? Whether NEP will be successful to equip students with knowledge and skills required to meet the controlled competition and reduce unemployment?
Deputy Minister, please.
Thank you, Madam. The government is in the process of formulating a new education policy to meet the changing dynamics of the population. It will fulfill the requirement of the population with regard to quality education, innovation and research. It aims to make India a knowledge superpower by equipping skills and knowledge. For this purpose, it is carried out in highly participative, inclusive and multi-pronged consultation with eminent educationalists, teachers and stakeholders. There has been wide publicity and positive feedback from the stakeholders. Accordingly, based on the comments and various feedbacks received from the stakeholders on the draft of NEP, the Ministry is in the process of finalizing the National Education Policy 2020.
Question 104, Srimati Ishwari.
Thank you, Speaker Madam. India has the highest potential medical tourism in the world. Will the Minister of Culture be pleased to state? Will the medical tourism be India's next big industry? If so, what steps are taken by the government to achieve it?
Honorable Minister of Culture, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker Madam. कुछ पंक्तियां लिखी हैं, गौर फरमाइएगा। भारत भूमि हमारी अतिथि देवो भव पर रखती विश्वास है। यहाँ के विविध पर्यटक क्षेत्र उनकी सुंदरता ही कुछ खास है। विदेशियों का स्वागत है यहाँ, उनकी सेहत यहाँ महफूज है, क्योंकि साक्षात धन्वंतरी जी का यहाँ वास है। Indeed, the growth of medical tourism will be a boon for several associated industries, including the hospitality industry, the medical equipment industry, and the pharmaceutical industry. A constant briefing with External Affairs and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is timely initiated. Our government has relaxed tourist visa rules. Numerous renowned hospitals have been encouraged to attract foreign patients. The numbers speak for themselves.
इस रफ्तार से कितनी सदियों के बाद चिकित्सा पर्यटन का विकास होगा?
महोदय जी, आंखें बंद कीजिए।
क्यों? उससे विकास होने वाला है।
आप कीजिए तो सही। अब लंबी सांस लीजिए, हाँ छोड़ दीजिए। ऐसे ही योगा या प्राणायाम कीजिएगा, संयम बना रहेगा। उसी मुद्दे पर तो आ रही थी मैं। It is estimated that by 2020, India could be hosting 24 lakh medical tourists. I would like to put accent on 24 lakh medical tourists, which is almost 4 times the number it catered to in 2010. Drawing your attention, Honorable Madam, this will also show a rise in foreign exchange earnings and GDP. Thank you.
Question 105, Srimati Harshali.
Thank you, Speaker Madam. महिला सुरक्षा के संदर्भ में मैं यह कहना चाहूँगी, मैं
इस महान देश की एक आम हूँ नारी, पर मेरे अपने ही लोगों की नजर मुझ पर पड़ी भारी। घर से बाहर निकलते ही घूरती है गिद्ध गिद्ध आंखें, जिनको भीड़ में देखकर थम जाती है सांसें। घर से मंजिल तक एक खौफ अपने ही शहर में, क्या बेटी लौटेगी वापस सही सलामत अपने ही घर में? क्या बेटी लौटेगी वापस सही सलामत अपने ही घर में? Security of women is a major concern in Indian Railways. Will the Honorable Minister of Railways be pleased to state what steps are taken by government to improve the security of women in trains? Whether the government has provided any security helpline for women in distress, or whether the government has took measures to curb the black marketing of reserved rail ticket?
Honorable Minister of Railway, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the security of women is top priority of Indian Railways. The government has provided security helpline numbers 182 and 138. 400 railway stations are receiving advanced CCTV camera services. The trains are having pink zones, that is, compartments reserved only for women to improve security services. Regarding black marketing, the government has started an initiative called YTSK, Yatri Ticket Suvida Kendra, to curb the black marketing of reserved rail tickets. Apart from this, passengers are allowed to book tickets up to 60 days in advance. They receive SMS alerts for the arrivals and departures of trains. Also, Operation 5 Minutes has been started that allows passengers to acquire tickets within 5 minutes of entering the station. Thank you, Speaker, Madam.
Question 106, Shrimati Rujula. Thank you, Speaker, Madam. Students in India often face problems and confusions while selecting the options, while comparing the ratings given by different international rating agencies. Our Indian universities hardly figure in top 200. Will the Honorable Minister of Education be pleased to state whether the government has framed any specific plan for ranking of such higher education institutions? What will be the grounds for such ratings, and when can we expect it to be operational?
Minister of Education, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. The Ministry is busy preparing framework to rank India's higher education institutions. Madam, this India-centric ranking framework will provide the students with accurate information about the current status of Indian university. The Ministry had even had consultations with QS and Times ranking authorities to look at how to improve the rankings. Academic institutes will also be assessed on parameters like teaching, learning, collaborative practice, research, professional performance, and inclusive action. Thank you, Madam.
I have a supplementary. You may proceed. Today, many Indian students are choosing foreign universities for their higher education. Are our Indian universities not worthy enough? What steps are taken by government to stop this?
Madam, government is working to attract more number of students towards the Indian setup of education. Madam, achieving rankings with QS top universities in world and QS subject-wise listing is also the ministry's agenda. This way, students will feel encouraged to get world-class education in Indian universities. Students will also get opportunities to study a semester at international universities for better exposure. Research investment, I repeat, Madam, research investment is also being made to come up with quality inventions and to attract more number of students to take up research programs. These all steps will be taken to enhance the quality of technical and science education in our country. Thank you, Madam.
क्वेश्चन 107 श्रीमान सोहम।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदया। मैं आपका ध्यान जरा इस ओर आकर्षित करना चाहता हूँ। सही मायनों में देश बदल रहा है, डिजिटलाइज हो रहा है। आजकल तो ठेले वाले भी कहते हैं बाबूजी पैसे नहीं है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, गूगल पे कीजिए और हमारे मस्त गोलगप्पे खाइए। लेकिन सुरक्षा के मामलों में स्थिति कुछ इस प्रकार है। गूगल पे आया, फोन पे आया, गूगल पे आया, फोन पे आया, बिटकॉइन ऑनलाइन मनी ट्रांसफर भी आ गया। डिजिटलाइजेशन के पीछे मैं कुछ इस कदर भागता रहा कि चोर आके मेरी तिजोरी लूट गया और मैं देखता ही रह गया। भारत में जहां इंटरनेट यूजर्स की संख्या में जबरदस्त बढ़ोतरी हो रही है, वहीं दूसरी तरफ साइबर क्राइम भी दिन ब दिन बढ़ रहे हैं। सरकार साइबर सुरक्षा पर पर्याप्त ध्यान केंद्रित नहीं कर रही। सवाल यह है कि वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड में उपयोगकर्ता का डाटा सुरक्षित व गोपनीय है या नहीं।
ऑनरेबल होम मिनिस्टर प्लीज।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, भारत के संविधान के अनुसार पुलिस और लोक व्यवस्था राज्य के विषय है और राज्य अपने विधि प्रवर्तन तंत्र के माध्यम से अपराधों की रोकथाम, इनका पता लगाने और जांच के लिए मुख्य रूप से जिम्मेदार है। विधि प्रवर्तन एजेंसियां साइबर धोखाधड़ी करने वालों के विरुद्ध विधि के प्रावधानों के अनुसार कानूनी कार्रवाई करती है। ऐसी धोखाधड़ी रोकने और जांच में तेजी लाने के लिए ऐसी धोखाधड़ियों के बारे में जागरूकता फैलाने, चेतावनी या परामर्श पत्र जारी करने, विधि प्रवर्तन एजेंसियों के प्रशिक्षण आदि के लिए भी कदम उठाए गए हैं। देश की सुरक्षा सरकार का दायित्व है और विरोधी पक्ष से हम सहयोग और सहकार्य की अपेक्षा रखते हैं। महोदया जी, अंत में मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी, सुरक्षा की फिक्र है हमें, उन्नति और प्रगति की चाह है हमें। साथी अगर हाथ बढ़ाए तो बुलंदियों को छुएंगे, यह विश्वास है हमें।
क्वेश्चन 108 श्री जयेश।
Thank you, Speaker Madam. Thank you, Speaker Madam. Water, water everywhere, not a single drop to drink. I feel the situation in South India is just like this poem. Honorable Speaker Madam, this year South India has experienced the worst drought in last 25 years. Only 84 TMC of water is available in Almaty Dam. In the past 1 month, 80% of crops are destroyed. Farmers are suffering a lot as they had spent huge money on seeds and fertilizers. हमारी सरकार ने नदी जोड़ प्रकल्प के बारे में बड़ी जोर शोर से चर्चा की थी। कहाँ है वो? गंगा यमुना जैसी नदियों का वरदान मिला है इस देश को, फिर भी जनता एक बूंद पानी के लिए तरस रही है। कब बदलेगी ये स्थिति?
Minister of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, please.
Honorable Speaker Madam, according to Niti Aayog, the ultimate irrigation potential of the country is 150 million hectares, out of which irrigation potential is 113 million hectares. To bridge this gap, Government of India has launched Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sanchay Yojana. National support हमने ही किया है, कुछ अपना तो बताइए। महोदया जी रुकिए, मुझे मेरी बात तो पूरी करने दीजिए। National Water Policy formulated by Ministry of Water Resources (RD) and GR advocates conservation, promotion and protection of water as well as availability of water through rainwater harvesting. The Department of Rural Development has prioritized work related with natural resources management, including water harvesting under मनरेगा। सबका साथ, सबका विकास और यही है हमारा ध्यास।
May I speak, madam?
Yes, Shriman Siddhant.
Honorable Speaker, madam, there has been a serious breach of privilege by the members of the ruling party. Days before, a serious and confidential issue, I repeat, a serious and confidential issue relating to the foreign policy of India towards its neighboring countries was discussed and later was leaked into media, and now has become a chaotic debate. Honorable Speaker, madam, before the site puts forth any of their developmental projects or increase in GDP, let them get to know the rules, regulations, norms, discipline and decorum of the parliament, and let them not make the people ashamed of whom they choose to be the representatives.
Shriman Siddhant, have you given notice of it earlier?
Yes, ma'am, I have already given a notice of it at 10 a.m. this morning.
It will be examined and you will come to know about it. Now papers to be laid.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. Sir, I beg to lay on table copy of papers related to the reports by following. Number 1. Identification of industrial sector promising for commercialization of solar energy. Number 2. Market assessment of solar water heating in Himalayan regions. Number 3. Delhi International Renewable Energy Conference. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Minister, Shri Ameya.
Ma'am, with your permission, I would like to lay down the following. First, the report on working group of subcommittee of National Development Council. Second, the report on technical missions on oilseeds and pulses. Third, the report on integrated nutrients.
Secretary General to report message from the upper chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Yes, madam. I have to report the following message received from the Secretary of Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament. In accordance to the provisions of rules and regulations in the conduct of business in the Upper House of Youth Parliament, I am directed to enclose the copy of the National Waterways Bill 2020 for economic, pollution and snarl-free transport.
Secretary General to lay on the table the copy of the bill as passed by the upper chamber.
Yes, madam. I lay on the table the copy of the National Waterways Bill 2020 for economic, pollution and snarl-free transport.
Honorable members, I have to make an important announcement. On my own behalf and on behalf of the honorable members of the House, I have great pleasure in extending our warm and hearty welcome to the honorable members of the French parliamentary delegation who are on a visit to India as our honored guests. It is a very high-powered delegation. The delegation arrived on Sunday, 21st January 2020. They are now seated in a special box. We wish them a happy and comfortable stay in our country. Mr. Jean Dubois and Lee Nicholas. Now, let us take up the calling attention motion. Srimati Vanshika, please.
थैंक यू स्पीकर मैडम। मैं माननीय वित्त मंत्री का ध्यान अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में डॉलर के मुकाबले रुपए की लगातार गिरती कीमत की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहती हूँ। पिछले एक वर्ष में लगातार रुपए की कीमत में गिरावट आ रही है, पर सरकार हाथ पर हाथ धरे बैठी है। मैं वित्त मंत्री जी से जानना चाहती हूँ कि सरकार ने इस स्थिति से निपटने के लिए क्या कदम उठाए व इसके परिणाम स्वरूप बढ़ती महंगाई से निपटने की क्या योजना है।
Honorable Finance Minister, please.
Madam, analyzing the current situation, falling of rupee might be the concern for economy. Government has taken following measures in consultation with the Reserve Bank of India. RBI has reduced interest rates, citing inflationary pressures. Secondly, companies in manufacturing and infrastructure sectors with foreign exchange earnings can borrow in dollars to cover rupee loans.
Srimati Sanchali.
Thank you, Speaker Madam.
अब पछताए होत क्या जब चिड़िया छूट गई थी। मैडम जी, देश की आर्थिक स्थिति बद से बदतर हो रही है। Economic condition has been slowing down to 6.5% in 2019-20. Huge unemployment is created in India. Rupee has fallen to its lowest to the 57 level against dollar. How long will it take to resolve this issue?
Shriman Zaid, please.
Speaker Madam, the falling rupee has not only affected our growth rate but has also affected severely our domestic retail sector. The prices of essential commodities are increasing day by day, affecting the household budget of a common man.
श्रीमती श्रावणी।
सभापति महोदया, पिछले एक साल से रुपए लगातार गिर रहा है। पेट्रोल डीजल के दाम आसमान छू रहे हैं। शिक्षा लगातार महंगी होती जा रही है। जीवन रक्षक दवाइयाँ गरीब के पहुंच से बाहर है, लेकिन हमारी सरकार हाथ पे हाथ धरे बैठी है। तभी तो अपनी झूठी शान दिखाने के लिए सरकार ने यूरोपीय संकट से निकलने के लिए 100 अरब रुपए दान कर दिए। महोदया, मेरा सवाल मंत्री जी से यह है कि जब हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था कुछ संकट में है तो ये दरियादिली क्यों?
Honorable Finance Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker Madam, for the information of the House, this phenomenon of depreciating rupee is not a standalone case for India. Almost all the nations have faced this crisis. We can solve this problem by attracting foreign direct investment in the retail and infrastructure sector. I would request the leader of opposition to support the bill on FDI in retail and our other bills related to economic reforms. Any suggestion from the opposition will be considered seriously. But please, don't oppose for the sake of opposing.
Honorable Minister of Law to introduce the bill.
Honorable Speaker Madam, I beg to move for a leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Motor Vehicle Act.
Now, the question is that the leave be granted to introduce a bill to further amend the Motor Vehicles Act. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those who are against will say no. No. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The leave is granted. Honorable Law Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker Madam, I introduce the bill.
Now, the House will take up the consideration of the Women and Girl Child Prevention of Atrocities Bill 2020. Women and Child Development Minister, please.
Thank you, Madam. I beg to move that the bill to provide more stringent punishment to curb atrocities against girl child and women and for matters connected to be taken into consideration. Madam, as we all know that in our societies, despite reforms and awakening, it is very unfortunate that young girls and women are still most vulnerable to various atrocities and violence. Therefore, with a view to provide more stringent punishment to those abetting the act, the government has brought forward this before the House. First, any person who outrages the modesty of any woman shall be punished with imprisonment, which shall not be less than 10 years, and with a fine which may extend to rupees 10 lakh. Second, any person who commits the offence of rape on any woman or girl child shall be punished with death. The government shall, with the concurrence of the concerned High Court, establish a special court in each district to try offences under this Act. Madam Speaker, I am confident that all the honourable members of the House, irrespective of party affiliation, will welcome the bill wholeheartedly. I now move the Women and Child Development Prevention of Atrocities Bill 2020 be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Motion moved. Shrimati Arya.
Honorable Speaker Madam, women have always been a victim of molestation molestation and abuse. But the incident of Guwahati, which attracted the media's attention, was really a shock. It was really a brutal act of so-called moral Asians who think that they have a privilege of being male and can do anything what they want. India is not the best place for women to work and move freely on streets. Speaker Madam, it would have been better if government takes some steps against the Kham Panchayats also. In my view, this bill should have strict punishments against the self-proclaimed moral Asians. I hereby support the bill and request the government to have female judges to hear the cases against the women.
श्रीमती आलिया प्लीज। सभापति महोदय, आज भारत की देवभूमि देवियों के लिए अब सुरक्षित नहीं रहेगी। खासतौर पर दिल्ली, मुंबई जैसे महानगर तो महिलाओं के लिए बिल्कुल भी महफूज नहीं है। एक के बाद एक घट रही आपराधिक वारदातों को देखकर यह स्पष्ट रूप से कहा जा सकता है कि पुरुष आज भी महिलाओं को सम्मान व समान अधिकार देने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। वर्तमान बिल में सख्त सजा का प्रावधान किया गया, लेकिन मुझे आश्चर्य है कि महिलाओं के प्रति अपराधों को नॉन बेलेबल क्यों नहीं किया गया। मैं इस तथ्य के मद्देनजर इस बिल का विरोध करती हूँ।
श्रीमती जानवी।
Speaker Madam, the violence against women is partly a result of gender relations that as a man to be superior to women, given the subordinate status to women. Much of gender violence is considered normal and enjoys social sanction. I believe that this bill will strongly deal with domestic violence and serve its purpose. Hence, I support this bill.
Shri Sanchet, please.
Thank you, Speaker Madam. Looking at the alarming rate of crimes and atrocities against women, it has become necessary to provide veteran punishment for the perpetrators of atrocities against women and girl child. This will help to restore a respectable position for the women and girls in the society. I would ask the Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development to address the issue of honor killing in the bill as well. I support the bill.
Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, Shrimati Samni, please.
Madam, I am grateful to all the members who have supported the bill. I am also grateful for the advice that has been given to us as well as the constructive criticism too. I think that we have reached a stage where we are as a nation committed to improve the status of women and give equality to them in all the fields. As regard the point raised by Honorable Member that the crime is bailable, there seems to have been misunderstanding because for any crime where the punishment is for 7 years, life or death penalty, it is automatically non-bailable. I hope I have answered most of the points raised by Honorable Members in my speech. I now request the House to pass the bill. Thank you.
Now, the question is that the Women and Girl Child Prevention of Atrocities Bill 2020 for matters connected therewith be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those who are against will say no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. Now, clause by clause consideration. Now, the question is that clause 2 to 11 stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those who are against will say no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Clause 2 to 11 stand part of the bill. Now, the question is that clause 1, the enacting formula and the title stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those who are against will say no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, please.
I move the bill to be passed. Thank you.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor will say aye. Those who are against will say no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now, the House will take up private member's resolution. Shrimati Sachi to move the resolution.
Honorable Madam, I move the following resolution. This House recommends that the government should bring in bill to provide for promotion and development of sports and welfare measures for sportspersons, as well as promotion of ethical practices in sports. There are many reasons, events and unwanted casualties which are behind the introduction of this bill. Some of them include the whole concept of sports law is at a nascent stage in India. Many malpractices like disputes relating to the execution of contracts like sponsorship, sales of television rights, staging of sports events and sexual harassment of women surface up regularly. Although some provisions relating to this matter already exist in the guidelines provided by Sports Authority of India, a full-fledged resolution is required to curb these malpractices. The provisions of the bill are as follows. Number 1. To provide for promotion and development of sports and welfare measures for sportspersons. Number 2. Promotion of ethical practices in sports. Number 3. Education, healthcare and pension for sportspersons. Number 4. Representation of sportspersons and other stakeholders in the governance and management of sports. Now, let me explain about some ethical aspects of the bill. Number 1. There shall be Ethics Commission for enforcing the Code of Ethics in India as it may be prescribed. Number 2. An office bearer shall be debarred from holding the office at the National Olympic Committee or National Sports Federation immediately upon its conviction by the Court of Law and a sentence for 2 or more years of imprisonment from the date of conviction. Thank you, ma'am.
Member of Government, please.
Thank you, ma'am. The bill is highly appreciable. I rise to support this bill because it makes efforts to promote and develop the sport all over India. It provides for a free, fair, expeditious and a transparent mechanism for redressal of grievance of athletes, supports personal and other entities associated with that sport. I really appreciate this movement of such a bill which will bring transformation among the youths. Thank you.
Member of Opposition, please.
धन्यवाद महोदय। हार या जीत को दिल से न लगाना, सब कुछ भूलकर बस खेलते जाना। इस जुनून और अदम्य इच्छा शक्ति के बलबूते पर भारतीय खिलाड़ियों ने अपने कौशल का लोहा दुनिया से मनवाया है। आने वाले वक्त में यह खिलाड़ी दुनिया के दिग्गज खिलाड़ियों को न केवल चुनौती देंगे बल्कि उन पर फतेह हासिल करेंगे। लेकिन वर्तमान स्थिति में ऐसे कई हुनर खिलाड़ी हैं जो अपने बुनियादी ज़रूरतों के लिए संघर्ष कर रहे हैं। इतने प्रतिभा संपन्न खिलाड़ी होने के बावजूद भारत ओलंपिक खेल की पदक तालिका में हमेशा निचले स्थान पर रहा है। इसका कारण है सरकार का खेल प्राधिकरण। माननीय महोदया, आपने अभी जिस कानून के बारे में बखान किया है उसमें भ्रष्ट अधिकारियों के लिए सिर्फ 2 साल की सजा का प्रावधान किया है। सिर्फ 2 साल। इससे भ्रष्टाचार पर कैसा अंकुश लग जाएगा? आपका ये कानून सिर्फ कहने के लिए है, लेकिन निर्णायक रूप से भ्रष्टाचार को रोकने में असमर्थ है। इसीलिए मैं इस कानून का समर्थन नहीं करती।
Honorable Minister of Sports, what is your opinion?
Honorable Speaker Madam, I extend my sincere thanks to Shrimati Sachi Shah for bringing forth this bill. The proposed bill is a landmark in the field of sports and games as it has covered almost all the spheres of games and sports. I am also grateful to Shrimati Parthu Mane for throwing light on the issue of corruption which is rampant in Indian sports. However, our government is framing a new bill in this regards and would definitely including these points in that bill. I also assure Srimati Parthu Imani that concrete steps will be taken to curb corruption in sports. I would therefore request Honorable Member Srimati Sakshi Shah to withdraw this bill. Thank you.
Srimati Sakshi, please.
Ma'am, I am grateful to the Honorable Ministers for supporting this bill and also for the constructive criticism. In the view of the reply given by the Minister of Sports, I am withdrawing my bill.
Motion moved that the bill is withdrawn. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those who are against will say no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The bill stands withdrawn. The House is adjourned to meet at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
That was indeed a great performance, dear kids. I hope all the spectators too have enjoyed it. Well, let's proceed the program with the feedback of honorable guests present here. I would request Dr. Bokil sir to kindly come up and share the few words of guidance. So please.
Students, first of all, I would like to thank Singh sir for inviting me here to witness this unique event of Youth Parliament. Wow, it was great. Poddar has been always in the forefront. Poddar International School, Satara has always been in forefront in providing modern education. It was evident in lockdown when we conducted online classes and students could continue with their education. As a parent, it's quite satisfying, and we feel proud that we are getting education at par with cities like Pune and Mumbai. That's great. Congratulations to all the students here who have done a great job. Their fluency and their knowledge was really great. I think they have put on a lot of efforts. I congratulate teachers and whoever were involved in this program. Thank you. I am sure Poddar will keep on conducting such programs in future and raise the power of education and continue the same. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Vivek Bhosle sir to kindly share the words of guidance and his feedback, sir, please.
Respected dignitaries, I think Honorable Shivendra Raje Bhosle has already spoken a lot about it. Our respected Singh Sir, Principal BIS Satara, his entire team, and dear friends. Indeed, it was a great pleasure and it has given me an immense pleasure to be a part of this Youth Parliament Forum. I was overwhelmed by your performance, fluency. Dr. Bokil has already said it. I think the whole idea of Youth Parliament was started in 2002 by a social entrepreneur, Ishita Chaudhary, and who was supported by the India Habitat Center. I think since such programs are much needed to strengthen and nurture our Indian parliamentary democracy, and I am sure with such programs and the way we have conducted this program, Indian democracy is in safe hands, and it will be reach at a higher level than today. The performance of all the students was very good. I think this Youth Parliament forum will give a common platform for interaction between youths, the social activists who are working for the social cause in society, and between the government to lay down the bridge and reduce the gap between the government and the youth. and the ideas of youth will be taken more seriously henceforth, and the youths will come forward. Today's youths are, I think, more smart and they are fearless. The way they have spoken over here, I must congratulate Singh sir and entire team, and mostly the students over here. Lastly, I must congratulate Singh sir also, because during these challenging times he has conducted this program and almost given a good feedback for us to conduct such programs. And I think such programs will help to improve our parliamentary democracy, and the more and more high quality leadership will be found by such programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Nikit Sarvate sir to kindly share his views about this youth parliament. Sir, please.
Respected dignitaries, all the doctors and parents and all of my friends, very good evening. I would like to first of all thank the Poda School management for inviting me as a guest of honor, and indeed it was a privilege, and I was really a pleasant experience of witnessing this enactment in this youth parliament. Well, it's a different thing to read all this, or you read all the things about our the democracy in books, and it was a completely different experience, a perfect enactment I would call it. So kudos and 3 cheers to all the children involved and all the teachers involved. I really like the idea, and I think it should continue. And as we all know, during all these difficult times, during the difficult times of ongoing corona pandemic, the schools were locked, the children were locked inside the house. But despite that, as Dr. Siddharth mentioned, the online classes were going on, and believe me, the efforts required to take the online classes, to make the presentations, they are equal, if not more, to the didactic classes which normally which are presently taken in the school. So, big round of applause to all the teachers for continuing education. And in these difficult times, so big round of applause. And I'm sure, and secondly, I totally agree with Dr. Siddharth regarding the standard of education and standard of programs which Poda School Satara is conducting, and which are definitely at par with all the programs and all the curriculum in the bigger cities. And I'm really happy that my daughter also is studying in she's in senior KG, but I'm really happy that she has chosen the right school, and I wish you all the best, wish you all the success in your life, and I am sure that all of you will make your parents, your school, your teachers very proud. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Amul Dagde sir to kindly say a few words. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think most of the things have been said by few of my colleagues here, but out and all, wonderful performance by all the children, and the youth parliament was written and executed very well, and right from the sports, finance, women empowerment, all the topics were selected and very well written. So cheers to the team and principal sir, nice program. This should continue, and similar forums also can be taken rather than enactment to express the children their views. So that's an suggestion, and thanks for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, any program in Podar International School, Satara cannot be completed without the wise words of respected principal sir. It's a request, respected sir, to kindly share your words of wisdom and point of view over today's youth parliament, sir, please.
Respected guest of honors, Pancharatna, the doctors, lovely parents, and wonderful children, and the teachers involved for making this program successful. All the 5 doctors, when they were giving feedback, sometimes appreciation leads to emotion, because I became emotional. We were working in lockdown for the academics of the children, and we were not getting direct feedback. At any common forum, I didn't got any direct feedback about the teaching learning process at PL Satara. But today, I just invited guest of honors for the different program, but even though the teaching learning process came in between. So somewhere kudos to all the teachers for their wonderful job they are doing, and I request all children to give a round of applause to your teachers. Rightly said by Dr. Saab ki this program came in mind in 2002, but actually this year the HRD minister have instructed CBSE to incorporate this youth parliament, and this video will be uploaded on the CBSE portal. This video, whatever program today conducted, it will be uploaded on the CBSE portal, and I believe the teachers and the children have done wonderful and hard work. Maybe that this video will be sought among 17,000 schools, those who are supposed to upload the video. Secondly, the suggestion from Dr. Saab, actually this idea to make it so grand came in my review after seeing one of the very good school in country, that is CMSCD Montessori School, Lucknow. They are not organizing this youth parliament, but they are having permanent setup of United Nations organization. So they are different, the children, 165 children are representing different country, and they are taking some issue, and the forum is open for all the children. So this setting I have discussed to my SST teacher, I believe 1.5 months before, I want this setting. Now we are prepared with the setting. We are going to throw the different programs, as Dr. Dhawale said. We have some of the local issues also, rather than only projecting the issue country-wise. Some of the local issues also, even some of the topics of history and geography can be taken, and it can be thrown among the children. They will be discussing about, and this will be great learning for all the children. So this forum is not for one day. Actually, this will continue, children. And only these 50 students, those who have been selected here, will not be fixed every time. Next time another 50 students will be given exposure, and next time different topic will be given. So this will continue, because this is one of the good way to learn social study in better way. So thank you to all the parents. Always, every time when I anticipate, actually I used to speak to my teachers that we could manage to differentiate this school in this society because of the wonderful cooperation of the parents. And we are different because we have got differently supported parents in this system. So once a big round of applause to all the parents, children. Thanks for accepting our invitation, and we will be always enthusiastic welcome you all at each and every program. I know that this was very tough time for calling doctors, especially this hour is very much difficult for them. But sir, you people have done 8 months very serious job to the society. So we thought that we should compel you to spare leisure time with us for 2 hours. Thank you.
On behalf of Pudar International School, Satara, I would like to thank our chief guest, Honorable Chhatrapati Shivendra Raje Bhosle, who graced us with his thought-provoking words, setting a perfect platform for our students. Also, a heartfelt gratitude towards the guest of honor, all the doctors who spared their precious time to motivate the nascent minds of our students. I would like to thank our beloved Principal Sir for all the words of wisdom and ideas that radiated a source of energy within us. And yes, my dear kids, without your enthusiastic performances and support of your parents, this event would have not been such a success. Once again, thank you all.
भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है, स्वतंत्रता को बल देता है, समता न्याय का फल देता है, जिसकी बदौलत भारत देश को मिला यहाँ सम्मान है। भारत का संविधान है, भारत का संविधान है।